We are taking a closer look at the top political headlines this week, and joining us are ABC White House correspondent MaryAlice Parks and our ABC News political director Rick Klein. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here. Rick, let's start with you. Is this what the campaign is going to look like for Donald Trump? I mean, he said he had other places to be, but he was in the courtroom. How is his campaign handling this?
Yeah, for the first time in a long time, Donald Trump is not in control of his campaign messaging. It's in court. So he can come out and talk, and he can come out and say what he wants, but he's not able to have campaign events during the week. He's trying to make up for that on the weekends. He's going to be in North Carolina later today. Notably, that's a state that he's playing defense. He actually won that state last time around. He needs to keep it in his column, but it's going to change things. Look, the political strategy, the legal strategy, it's been merged for a while. But again, Trump does not control the narrative. He doesn't control the messaging. What's happening in court starting Monday is what's going to dominate the storylines.
And one person who did get on the campaign trail, of course, President Biden, spending a lot of time on the campaign trail this week. He also got endorsements from some members of the Kennedy family. So what does this mean for RFK's run as an independent?
I asked Democrats whether this was a risky strategy. I mean, having the Kennedy family there next to Biden, out with Biden, definitely put RFK's independent run into the national conversation. But they said, look, we're past this. He is a threat. They view him as a threat. Democrats have decided their best strategy is to try to take him on head on. They're running a really public campaign to try to keep him off the ballot. That's going to be a big question. But it was big news this week that he seems to have gotten on the ballot in Michigan, obviously a crucial swing state. So that could make a big difference. Democrats spending money trying to define him, talk about his anti-vaccine sort of beliefs, talk about his big MAGA Trump donors. But it was interesting to me. I talked to some of our friends at 538 about the polls, whether it's really just Democrats that should be worried about RFK. They said it's hard to splice the polls this early, but actually there's evidence he draws almost directly evenly, an even split between potential Trump voters at this point and potential Biden voters.
Yeah. Well, we know, not to get off too far off course, but we know that he's got enough support that it could sway some of these swing states.
Which is what Democrats are worried about. They've been burned by third-party candidates in the past.
Exactly. Rick, let's switch gears here a little bit and talk about Speaker Johnson, pushing forward with these foreign aid packages. I mean, is he going to keep his job this time? It's like we've seen this effort over and over again in the House.
Yeah, when he has put it all on the line with these aid packages, he knows the only way they're going to pass is if you get a bunch of Democrats to support them. And there are Republicans saying, we're going to take you out of your job if you do that. So he decided, look, there's no good win situation. Let's put it forward. Let the House work its will. And you've got Marjorie Taylor Greene and a handful of Republicans saying, we're going to try to take you down as a result. Now, it's a little bit different. First of all, there aren't a lot of Republicans that want to go through what they did with Kevin McCarthy a couple months ago. They saw that. They didn't like having the chaos. And the other difference is that Democrats might bail him out this time. Last time, Democrats did not throw.
That's what's so fascinating.
Yeah, no lifeline for McCarthy. It might be different for Speaker Johnson, and it's not because of his ideology. It may just be practically, we're talking about 6 months before the election. You don't want to have that kind of chaos, especially with all of these hotspots across the world.
It is all so interesting. That's why it's important to have you guys here, because there's so many political headlines. MaryAlice, major Supreme Court cases and Earth Week coming up this week. President Biden eager to talk about it.
Yeah, on Monday, the Supreme Court hears arguments in a big case about homelessness, whether cities can fine or jail someone who's experiencing homelessness. On Wednesday, another big abortion case, whether some of those abortion bans are going too far, cutting against federal law that says that hospitals have to provide emergency care when a patient has a life-threatening situation. So look, if we needed any reminder that the Supreme Court is right in the middle of this election, I mean, these are the kinds of issues that voters are talking about in their families, in their communities, the kinds of issues that impact their daily lives. And yeah, Monday is Earth Day, and it's a big deal, but especially for this White House, we've seen just a flurry of activity, new environmental protections. This is one of those issues where Democrats are worried some young progressives are maybe leaving the party, don't think that the president's done enough, but they think if they can talk about it a lot, draw a big contrast to former President Trump on this, maybe they can reel some of them back in. So yeah, we're going to see the president talking a whole lot about climate change this week.
Busy week ahead. MaryAlice Parks, Rick Klein, great to see you as always. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.